The Galactic Defense Academy's orientation hall fell silent as the human instructor walked to the center of the training arena. Commander Aaron stood at attention among the other cadets, his chitinous plates shifting nervously. This was the moment every first cycle cadet whispered about in the dormitories, the human combat demonstration. Humans were rare in this sector of space. The Terran Accord had only opened diplomatic channels 3 cycles ago, and already their species had gained a reputation that preceded them. They were Deathworlders, everyone said. Survivors of a planet so hostile that it had forged them into something the galaxy had never quite seen before. "I am Sergeant Chun," the human announced, her voice carrying across the arena without augmentation. "Today you will learn why humans are selected for special operations units across the Alliance fleet." Kavrin, a Velkara warrior standing beside Aaron, let out a skeptical hiss. The Velkari were apex predators on their own world, 3 meters of muscle, scale, and bioengineered aggression. "She is so small," Kavrin whispered. "How can such a creature teach us anything?" Aaron had to agree. Sergeant Chun stood barely 1.7 meters tall, her frame lean and unaugmented. Among the cadets representatives from 17 warrior species, she looked almost fragile. "I'll need a volunteer," Chun said, her eyes scanning the crowd. They settled on Kavrin. "You, the Velkari. Step forward." Kavrin's predatory grin widened. This would be entertaining. He strode into the arena, his talons clicking against the floor, his tail sweeping behind him in a display of dominance. "Standard combat scenario," Chun explained to the watching cadets. "Your opponent wants to reach that door behind me. Stop them using any means necessary. Begin when ready." Kavrin didn't hesitate. He lunged forward with the speed that made his species legendary, claws extended, jaws wide. The human would dodge left all prey, dodge left when Chun moved forward, not to the side, not backward. Forward into Kavrin's charge. What happened next occurred too fast for Aaron's eyes to track properly. The human's hand struck Kavrin's extended wrist, redirecting his momentum. Her body twisted, using his own weight against him. Kavrin found himself airborne, then crashing into the mat with enough force to crack it. Chun's knee rested against his throat, her expression never having changed from that calm, almost friendly smile. 4 seconds, she announced. "Any questions?" Kavrin groaned, his pride more wounded than his body. Chun helped him to his feet with surprising gentleness, then turned back to the assembled cadets. "Humans don't have armor plating," she continued, beginning to pace. "We don't have natural weapons. Our bite force is pathetic. Our claws are worthless. We can't see in the dark like you, Aaron. We can't regenerate like the Threxians. We have no venom, no bone density worth mentioning, no redundant organs." She paused, letting that sink in. "But we evolved on a planet that was trying to kill us every single day, a planet with megafauna 10 times our size, with diseases that adapted as fast as we did, with weather systems that could freeze or roast us within hours, with thousands of species that all wanted to eat us." Chun picked up a training blade from a nearby rack. "So we learned. We learned to read body language, to predict movement, to turn weakness into strength. We learned persistence hunting. We can outlast almost any creature in a long chase. We learned pack tactics, tool use, pattern recognition. Most importantly, we learned stubbornness." A notification chimed. The arena's far door opened, and a maintenance officer entered leading 3 small creatures on leashes. Arin recognized them immediately, Threxian cubs, their juvenile forms looking like miniature versions of their 6-legged, fanged adult counterparts. Cubs were notoriously aggressive, their bite containing a mild paralytic even at this age. The cadets instinctively stepped back. Everyone knew the protocols. Threxian cubs imprinted on size and dominance. They attacked anything smaller than themselves. "Release them," Chun instructed calmly. The maintenance officer's eyes widened. "Sergeant, regulations state I'm aware of the regulations." "Release them." The officer complied, unhooking the leashes. The 3 cubs immediately oriented on Chun, the smallest creature in the arena. They began their characteristic hunting display, spreading out, lowering their centers of gravity, preparing to swarm. Aaron felt his breathing apparatus quicken. This was madness. Even a cub swarm could seriously injure someone. Chun dropped to one knee, making herself even smaller. She extended her hand, palm down, and made a soft clicking sound with her tongue. The lead cub charged and stopped 3 feet away, confused. Chun continued the clicking sound, her posture relaxed, non-threatening. The cub approached cautiously. Chun didn't move, didn't react, just maintained that strange sound and that impossible calm. The cub sniffed her hand. Its tail began to wag. What happened next would become legend in the academy halls. The smallest cub, emboldened by its sibling's success, approached Chun and, in a move that defied every instinct of its species, climbed up her arm and perched on her shoulder. It began making a purring sound that Aaron had never heard a Threxian make. The other two cubs followed, rubbing against Chun's legs like domesticated pets. The human just smiled. "This," she said, her voice still calm despite wearing a supposedly dangerous predator as a living scarf, "is the human advantage. We spent 50,000 years turning wolves into dogs, making allies out of predators, finding common ground with creatures that should have eaten us. We are the galaxy's most persistent social engineers." She stood slowly, the cub maintaining its perch on her shoulder. "Every species here is stronger than us individually. But humans? We make friends, we adapt, we refuse to give up. And we've learned that the scariest thing in the universe isn't the biggest predator." Her smile widened slightly. "It's the small, weak prey species that refuse to die, learn to fight back, and then convince the predators to join its pack." The cub on her shoulder nuzzled against her neck affectionately. Aaron looked at Kavrin. The mighty Velkari warrior was staring at the human with something that looked like newfound respect and perhaps a touch of fear. In that moment, Aaron understood. Humanity hadn't conquered their death world through strength. They'd made it fall in love with them instead. And that was far more terrifying.